This could taste terrible, but I love the can. But it doesn't. It tastes good. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. We're reviewing the, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Victra, V-I-C-T-R-A, new target bow from Elite. Everything about the design of this is stuff I would like, so I'm actually pretty excited to test it for you guys. Basically a straight riser bow, very little reflex, 37.5-inch axle to axle, 7-inch brace height, which you just don't see anymore, but it's a relevant thing. Brace height equals forgiveness for the most part, other than a couple parameters. Same wheeling adjustable system. You can shim it here and you can tweak it here for finite adjustments. This is not a coarse adjustment in my opinion. This is a fine adjustment. So you're still probably going to end up playing with spacers a little bit. The new timing feature. Now, for those of you old hats that have been around since I was a young man, which is how all bows were when I first started shooting, this is a timing feature that looks remarkably similar to a steel cable timing adjustment system that Martin created a long time ago. If you follow back a lot of these designs of new technology, you'd be amazed how often something from the Martin life actually was very, very similar. Tech risers, you name it. There's so much of it that crossed over. And Martin just, I don't think they really ever enforced their patents, but they had some really cool ideas all the way back to the 60s. Gail Martin was a genius. Rest in peace, Gail. You created so much archery shit in this world. It's quite impressive, and we're all better off because of your life and existing. Thank you. In any event, this system adjusts your timing visually, and I think we're going to try it out as a little field test here. Looks like you are probably going to need a stubby wrench to get in here effectively, and there's a lock screw up here, and then we're going to adjust this screw for timing. So we're going to start off, pop said set screw loose. Whoop, whoop. There we go. All right, so that's number one. Number two, I'm guessing. So you just tighten or loosen based off of what you want your timing to do. The only negative with this sort of system is you can only adjust it so far without disconnecting your wrench, but you're going to need loose wrenches to do it. And that is how their timing system works, which is cool. It was a great system back in the day. Not terribly hard. You do need some individual wrenches or some stubbies to probably get at it, but simple, once again, awesome, great solution, assuming it's not a patent violation of a Darton product, which, as I had stated before, it's really way closer to what Martin already made way back in the day, for those of you trying to research whether or not this is actually legal or not. But in the interim, I'm going to give you a lot of credit for doing that because I love Darton's simple tuning system, and honestly, that's somewhat like the Martin. So hopefully we don't have issues, and this might be adapted into the rest of the line going forward, being as that this is a target bow. If this bow was like 34 inches, it would be really hard to beat, I wouldn't think, for a hunting bow, for a Western hunting bow anyway. Same lateral transfer system as the 2025 bows, which I'm not sure if they're calling this 2026 or 2025 target. I'm assuming they're calling it 2026. Our bow today is a 60-pound bow, so that's what we're going to have to test it at. So we're going to have to dig up our 300 grain arrows to get you an actual IBO speed on it. And the variables we can't take into place because it's not a 70-pound bow. This is what they sent. It has a 37.5 axle to axle, 7-inch brace height, 4.7 pounds. It's available in poundages from 40 up to 70 pounds in 10-pound increments, plus a 65-pound option. Looking for 328 feet a second, and it's a 25.5 to 31-inch draw length adjustability. Let's measure some stuff. Okay, so this is not going to be long enough for that. We're going to need an actual hard tape, which is right here. So looking for 37.5. We're going to go from the outside hook to here. So 37 5/8, because that's your dynamic feel. 32.5, it looks like. Yeah, 32.5 overall riser length. Let's see what our reflex geometry is. Look right at an inch. Yeah, inch of reflex, which is very low. So good on you there, Elite. All right, let's measure our brace height. Looks like spot on 7 inches. I don't know if you want to. Let's measure our physical weight here. Okay, so we're coming in at 5.2 to 5.3. And that's got that dampener on it, which I guarantee you they weigh this off of it. You give it 2/10 for a loop and an arrow rest, traditionally. And that takes us down to 5.0. But I mean, it's a target bow, so anybody with one shouldn't really be complaining about overall weight, honestly. So I'd say it's closer to 4.8. You're going. Okay, so this is probably about 30 1/8, somewhere in that vicinity, it looks like. Yeah, I'd give it 30 1/8. 59.9, bitches. Let's shoot some shit. I'd say that's a 39 and a half, maybe 39. I'll give you 39 and 3/4. Whoop. Yeah, 39 and 3/4 load out point. We have 300 grain arrows because this is a 60-pound bow to try to get you the velocity. Because it's a 60-pound bow, we can't really shoot the other ones through it because it won't give us relevant data. So here's 60 pounds, 30 inches, 300 grain arrows. Draw cycle's greatly smooth. I love their back wall. It's always good and firm, and you can adjust it through multiple different let-offs, which is really cool. 316, 317. Now, in their deal, it says up to 328. They could technically be measuring that at 31 inches. I didn't clarify, but as of traditionally, your published speed is 30 inches. Oh, no, 317 is the average. Yeah, it draws awesome. Like, this is going to be a really good feeling target bow. And it's hard to argue with their 314. It's very hard to argue with their draw cycle. It's really nice. Their grip's really nice. Like, I like these bows. I know the comments would contradict that, but I actually do like their bows. .316. We'll go and shoot one more for fun. So I think we're probably pushing about a 316 average now between all those numbers. 21, 319. We'll give them 317 average. Now we'll shoot this for sound. So we got a 79 average, and for those of you asking what, we don't care about how loud a bow is, this can be hunted with, okay? So it's kind of relevant that I do measure the comparables between a target bow and a hunting bow when it is something you could functionally hunt with. A guy with a 31-inch draw length might actually want to hunt with this bow, and it's going to be a pretty damn forgiving hunting bow for that record. So it is relevant to measure noise. Okay, because we got a 60-pound bow, there's only so many variables we can put in here where we would normally want to do with a 70-pound bow. It's unfortunate, but it's what we got. So we got 317 foot a second on the velocity. It was published at up to 328. That's not bad. I mean, it's 11, right? It's 11 off. But this is not intended to be a fast bow. It's a 7-inch brace height bow. By going from like a 6-inch to a 7-inch, you're usually going to lose at least 10 foot a second. So if this was a 6-inch brace height bow, per example, it would probably be in that 328 mark, which puts it right up with the other bows that we tested this last year. However, it's 317. That's 1 inch reflex, 1/8 of an inch long on draw, and 79 dBs. And once again, I'm going to say this one more time. Just because it's a target bow doesn't mean somebody might not hunt with it. So the noise that the bow makes is a transfer of energy and equality to be smoother. So there is some relevance to that, even though it is technically a target bow. All right, let's see what we got here. Speed, we have 317, 8 for speed. Weight, 4.8. Yeah, 4.8 is what we ended up at. So I got to give you 4. Tunability. There's like, I'll give you a 14 for tunability because there's like, I don't know what else I could ask this bow to do, but you can't give a perfect score because there could be something else that doesn't exist yet. Integration and features. It's front mount pick, rear mount IMS, integratable cable guard, integratable componentry. I mean, they're doing every integratable thing you can, I think you could do, damn near. And they have their own low profile quivers. We'll give you a 9 for integration. Honesty. Okay, so you're 1/10 off on the weight, you're spot on the brace height, you're 1/8 long on your axle to axle, and you're 1/8 long on your draw length, and you're 11 feet off. I'm gonna give you a 10. Feel. I think this bow feels awesome. I really do. All in all, it should be a really good shooting bow. I can't fathom very many people not liking it, so I'm gonna give you an 8 for feel. Design, there's a lot going on here in the design. There's lots of cuts, through holes, etc. There's a lot of machining work that went into this. I'll give you an 8 for design. Value, $1,800. I don't know, man. Got great features to it. I'll give you a middle of the road value there. Some target bows are more expensive than that. Some target bows are less expensive than that. I'll give you middle of the road. Sound, 79. I'm going to give you a 4 because target bows are traditionally loud anyway. So I'm going to give you a 4 for sound. I think the quietest bow we tested was a 77. Appeal. There's a lot of cool stuff going on here. A lot of awesome features. Well, Darton, I guess, makes a target bow, so tunability arguments either way. But I think there's a lot of appeal here. I'm going to give you a 4. Let's see what you got. Are you making fun of me? 22 plus 4 is 26, 35, 45, 53, 61, 69, 72. I'll give you a 72. It's a pretty high mark. It's a pretty awesome bow. Head on over to the website and check them out, but I would really encourage you to go down to your local shop and shoot one of these bows if they're going to go through the effort of stocking it, because stocking target bows sucks. Very few people do it, so please check with your local shop and see if they have one in stock for you to try. But if they don't, podiumarchery.com for all those archery needs. $99 and up is free shipping, and we can ship you this bow because it's a target bow. So thanks for watching.